don't upload in a month. And this is all I have to say for it. What's up guys, Dragonix36 here, and today I am doing a Bionicle mock review of my Self-MOC version 4. Because I just decided, hey, I want to redesign the entire body. So here we are. So let's just start by saying nothing has changed about the limbs or the head, aside from the fact that I gave him a different sword, which that's not exactly part of the limbs, so nothing aside from the body has changed. So let's get started. For those of you who didn't see the previous video, modified with these Technic pieces in just to fill it in a little bit. One of the long CCBS skeleton pieces, leg, limb, arm, whatever they are, arm piece things with several different pieces of armor. These pieces of armor on another CCBS thing, and then this so I can holster the gun and the sword. His waist is now... His waist is pretty much the same as it was before. So, yeah. Except instead of the back being somewhat filled in, it's just this line. Well, it's just that Technic bar because of how I connect the Vaki body piece to the system, to this part right here, which connects it to the rest of the upper body. So yeah. We have... so yeah, there's that. I broadened the shoulders a little bit. I made him have a bit wider shoulders, because first of all, I don't want him to look that scrawny, because I'm not, because most of my characters are not skinny as a pole, and I don't want him to match the I don't want him to be any different from that, even though he's got a different body. For the chest system upper part, which is just connected through a Technic connection in there, and then a noose, and then a CCBS plate under it to sort of fill the rest of it out. His backpack is now a foot that is now one of those foot pieces that you'd see in Brutaka, and dang, I don't know who else uses these feet. Okay, yeah. Everything else is the exact same aside from the body. So that's pretty much it. I guess because articulation has changed just a little bit, we can go into that. Alright, so articulation. It is the exact same in the legs, ball joint at the foot, pivot at the knee, ball joint at the leg, at the thigh, ball joint at the shoulder, ball joint at the elbow, ball joint at the wrist. That's pretty common for happening because of how loose the connection is there. I'm gonna find a way to strengthen that eventually, don't worry. The head, ball joint. Now the body is just a little different, because instead of it having a single ball joint right there to connect the upper body to the lower body, I have these two pull arms that are connected on 2 ball joints on both of them. So he can arch his back a lot, but you know, he's limited by the Ritaka foot, because if I go any further, that happens. He can do an ab crunch. A pretty crazy ab crunch. And then he can sort of do a side-to-side motion with it. It just makes everything a little bit, it just makes things, just sometimes the things can get a little messed up. So yeah, that's his articulation. I guess I should go over his personality and his place in the story, in my lore, not in my story, now that, you know, we're here in this review, and it's one of my first times doing a review of this. It's like the 3rd time doing a review of Drago, so I figured it's about time we do a it's about time I do a review of how he is as an actual character. Alright, so let's get into that. So, obviously, in the story, he's my Self-MOC. I'm gonna make him the main character, obviously. I'm going to need to explain a good bit of this to you guys, because, you know, I haven't even finished writing the script yet for the stop motion, so I can't be saying, oh, you'll figure out some of his past in the stop motion when I don't even know if I'm gonna get that part into the stop motion. So let's just talk about it right now. So he was taken as a baby by Ophelius and Ophelius genetically modified him to become a sort of super soldier, kind of like Bucky or Captain America in the Marvel comics, except in this case it's more like Bucky, because Bucky was made into a super soldier by the opposing team, by the bad guys, but that's not important right now. Anyway, yeah, so he was made into a super soldier by Ophelius, and then when he finally came to, he was older because, well, he was a lot older because Ophelius spent a solid 10 years genetically modifying and altering his body. Now, if you haven't figured this out, the majority of my character, the entire thing about quasi-beings, which are the main species of my series, you would know that. I don't think I've explained this yet, but they are made of energy. So they have armor that they wear to contain themselves, so that they don't assimilate into the energy in the atmosphere. So yeah, that's how he is. So he would. Except what Ophelius did was he made it easier to he added in a piece of a certain species from my series that I'm not going to reveal yet, but he added a certain DNA from that species, which made him be able to go between energy and matter, and, being a tangible mass. So, yeah. once Drago came to, he was 10 years old and not a baby anymore because of the genetic modifications. And he was trained by one of Ophelius' generals to be the super soldier assassin that Ophelius wanted him to be. Of course, on his first mission, he couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't kill. So he went back. So when he came back from that mission, he talked to the guy that trained him, and he helped him. And the guy that trained him helped him escape. This gun is actually belonged to the guy that trained him, which is one of Ophelius' generals. So yeah, the gun belonged to this guy's mentor, and then when he escaped, his mentor was killed by Ophelius for treason. So yeah, that happened. He later joins up with the current Quasi-beings, the current Quasi-Knights that had been awakened as Quasi-Knights before him, which were Warsteel, Zephyrine, and Paragrax. The first two I will not be reviewing until they actually until they showcase in the series. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, he teams up with them, becomes the Quasi-Knight of the Quasi. He becomes the Quasi-Knight. He becomes the 7th generation Cosmic Quasi-Knight, and then something happens in the first episode of the series of my stop motion, which I'm almost done writing, to where which ends up with just him and Paragrax as Quasi-Knights, because the other two disappear. Yeah. So he's on his own, and so him and Paragrax are on their own as Quasi-Knights. So yeah, that's how it is. That's his story so far. I don't think I missed anything. No, I didn't. So yeah, that is Drago version 4. I'm not gonna change him again before the first episode of my stop motion. So yeah, that's Drago, my Self-MOC. I am Draconics36, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, before I end this video, I just need to say, I'm sorry. I haven't uploaded in the past month, and I've been pretty good at uploading on a good basis this summer. I just haven't been doing it because I've had work, it's just work, and on the days that I have off, I'm being a lazy butt and playing Forza. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. However, I will say that with how much I've been playing Forza, I probably have enough clips to where I can upload something from that. So, possibly expect a Forza Horizon 2 video coming up. But other than that, I might not upload in a while again. Let's just hope that I, actually try to make sure that I can get my stuff uploaded and have a good basis and possibly get started on the animation, the stop motion series before August. Possibly. Hopefully. Next time I have a day off, I'm probably going to spend it working on the intro, so yeah, hope for that. Yeah. That's all I have to say. So once again, I am sorry for not uploading in a month, and I promise I will upload more soon. Hopefully.